when you consider what's going on with the Reds and the Braves. And we bring in MLB.com Atlanta Braves beat reporter Mark Bowman. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. I'd say this place will probably be as lively as it's been since Todd won the home run derby here. How many years ago?
That's what I'm talking. Hey,
yeah.
Now I know you and me have been best buddies for a while, man.
That's
I
right.
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Hey, it's been a little while. It's going to be fun to see this place lively again tonight. So
listen, and you can find a jersey of mine and rock it that day. I'm sure you'll get some love if you can find it. Hey, I want to talk about how good the Braves are playing right now. Bryce Elder, man, I got to talk to you. I watched the game yesterday. He was absolutely filthy. He was calm, cool, and collective. It's a name that not many people are, knowing right now, but he's starting to get on the map right now. The guy's pretty much dominant all through the season, man. Talk about Bryce a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, it's a great story. He's AAA Gwinnett's opening day starter. He was pitched pretty well at the end of last year. Was optioned to AAA with 2 weeks left in big league camp this year. Starts down there, but he came up I think April 5th was his first start. He really was part of that first term because Max Fried tweaked the hamstring there in the opening day. So all of a sudden, Bryce Elder bursts on the scene. Here we are a couple months later, 15 starts later. He's got a 2.40 ERA, second in NL. And you can look at all the expected batting average and FIP and all this stuff. I don't care. He throws 90, 89, 90, but that stuff moves. That sinker moves. The slider moves. And Todd, you basically said the same thing Bryce Harper did yesterday. This kid doesn't really have a heartbeat. His stuff is good. He believes in it, and he doesn't get phased. There's guys that get on base, and he's able to get that big ground ball whenever he needs to. And it's been a lot of fun. And here we are about a week away from when All-Stars will be selected, and it'd be a shame if he's not part of that group.
As far as the pitching matchup, when it comes to this series, Mark, we're going to see AJ Smith-Schuster, who had a decent outing his last time when he went 5 2/3, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. What can we expect to see tonight to open up the series?
We're going to get a feel for how, his major league, how ready he really is to be here at the big league level here against this lineup tonight. I mean, it's not to take away from the lineups he's faced before or the last couple outings, but, to be in this environment, to face one of the hottest lineups in the game right now. 2 years ago, he was in high school. And 3 years ago, he was basically, everyone just assumed he was going to go play football at Texas Tech, be the quarterback. And COVID happened, and because some of the football camps got canceled that year, there in 2020, he wanted to be with his friends. So they were, still playing travel baseball. They were in Oklahoma one weekend, and the coach said, "Hey, do you want to pitch?" He stepped on the mound through 93. And the rest is, kind of history. He became, his days as a quarterback started to fade right at that point in time. Made 9-10 starts for his high school the next year. He grew up with Bobby Witt Jr. He's always been, around he's always been one of the better athletes. I guess he was known as being a great third baseman before he ever stepped on the mound, though. But he's, we'll see tonight. He was 95, 96 at AAA level. You've seen him more like 93, 94 here. The slider's okay. The curveball's okay. I think that what he needs to do is remain aggressive in certain counts. We see him dial it down in two, falls behind 2-0 or 3-0. He's dialing down. He may get in trouble there if somebody, is able to jump on, something, say one of those 91, 92 mile per hour fastballs, that kind of stuff. He's been able to stay out of trouble the first couple starts here, but this will be a big challenge tonight.
All right, so we're talking about Smith-Shawver, we're talking about Elder, we didn't even say Dodd. All these rookies keep coming up to pitch for the Braves. Shocker, Braves keep producing pitching. But is it the pitchers, or is it the incredible catchers that they have behind the plate that are really anchoring this team and the pitching staff?
I mean, it's legit. I mean, it's Travis d'Arnaud, Sal Fasano, and Sean Murphy now form a great group. Tyler Flowers the intelligence that they bring, the game planning. There's obviously some help. Front office may provide some numbers, but these guys are able to break down lineups and game plan about as well as anybody. Sal Fasano, I don't know if either one of you ever played with him, but I mean, just a very intelligent guy and a great benefit here. And Travis d'Arnaud has just become, as invaluable a leader in this clubhouse as you could find. He's that guy that after the game, he's over there in the corner drinking with the relievers, drinking a beer with the relievers, or talking to anybody. He relates to everyone, and he has just where he's taken his game from he's always been able to hit. He's improved defensively, but just that preparation, I think that's what we've seen where he has grown over the last few years, and he's about as good as it gets there.
You said Sal Fasano. Sal Fasano was one of my teammates, and then he was one of my catching coaches.
Yeah.
Why do you think if you had interaction with him, why do you think he's not a manager yet?
I don't know. I've thought about that. I wondered if did COVID kind of take him, because it felt like he was at that rapid rise at that point in time. Look, we know that Sal was a catcher. We know that he's got that background, and as you probably know, he went and became a pitching coach there with the Blue Jays, and he learned so much from a different. Yeah, he knew about the art of pitching, but when he's really focusing on it as in that role, he learned that much more. Just the way he relates with people. Let's say this: I don't know why he's not a manager, but I would say he does. He is very deserving, and we probably should push for him to. When it comes, those names people start looking for names. He's one guy that we should always mention because I think he is very deserving to be a manager.
No doubt about it. Now, you brought up Travis d'Arnaud, who I play with the Mets. Excellent dude. Just solid all around. He just goes about his business the right way. I want to bring up Sean Murphy. What have you heard about his hamstring? I know he said it was mild. He got in there and hit yesterday for an at-bat. Is there anything stopping him from starting to catch again?
He's not going to catch tonight, which I was surprised. After he came out there and pinch hit last night, they expected him to catch today, but I guess they're going to wait till at least tomorrow. You do have night game followed by a day game. Maybe that's, don't want to push Travis again tomorrow. Maybe this plan is all along has been, hey, just put Murphy in there and then have Travis come back and catch Sunday afternoon and then maybe get back to truly just in that normal schedule. But they really, even before Sean got hurt, they were starting to get closer to the every other day mix again. You guys have played in Atlanta. It's not easy to, catch every day in Atlanta. So whether it was with Kurt Suzuki and Flowers, that mix has worked where it's been almost a 50-50. And then maybe you get to the postseason and you want to lean on one guy, then you do it. But throughout the summer, I think that, we're getting to that point where these two guys may go 50-50. With Sean, it's kind of, he tweaked it on Saturday, that the hamstring. At that point in time, you got a catcher, it's a hamstring. You're thinking, oh, he's got to go on the IL. Well, they've now gone. This is going to be the fourth straight game that they've played without a backup infielder. And but you know what? It's not really a big deal when you think Charlie Culberson was here for a whole month and didn't play. They haven't used a backup infielder for well more than a month, somewhere back there in May. So, but that's the way. That's life with a 26-man roster and a DH. You can do that. The Braves don't platoon, and Snit doesn't pinch hit, so you can. That 26 guy just kind of gets lost. So right now, that 26 guys, Chadwick Trump, a backup catcher, and we'll see if they'll make a move once Murphy's ready to play every day and bring up a backup infielder. But I'd say at some point in time this weekend he is behind the plate.
Again, we're talking to Mark Bowman from MLB.com, the Braves beat writer. And Mark, it's so easy to focus on all of the positives in this 8-game win streak that Atlanta is working with. But how do you put the lineup into context, how good it is top to bottom, and how perhaps historically good it is for this team in recent years?
I mean, they've had some good lineups over the years. I think this one, just with Ronald Acuna back to being himself and being able to run like he does, this lineup has power throughout. And we've already got 7 guys with 10-plus homers. But it's just one thing I noticed this week in Philadelphia when you look at the 2 teams. You look at Realmuto and Castellanos and Harper and Schwarber, and you see all kind of power potential throughout that lineup. But what you're also seeing is a lot of they're not hitting for the power that you expect, or at least not the power that the Braves are. And when what you see, what they lack is that ability to take that extra base, go first to third, that kind of stuff. And that's what you see from the Braves, throughout that lineup with Ozzie, Ronald Acuna, Michael Harris down there at the bottom. Arcia doesn't really run all that well, but you've got even Austin Riley runs a little bit better than you might expect. There's some plotters in there, but there's also plenty of speed, and that's important right now in this game.
Plotters. So you're saying slow people? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Slow people. Mark, you've come on twice now, and you've just been like, oh, the Braves, the Braves, the Braves. So they don't need to add anything at the deadline, or do they?
That bullpen was a mess a couple weeks ago, and so I'd say that there was thoughts that, but now all of a sudden AJ Minter's turned things around. Joe Jimenez is pitching better, and that's really why they've played so much better in June than they did in May. This is a very good team. I think that it's going to be important to see where Max Fried is. Right now, it looks like maybe he could get back a little bit after the All-Star break. That'd be great, so you can get a gauge of where he stands. Are you going to be able to rely on Max Fried throughout the rest of the season? Maybe get him a start or 2 before that trade deadline and get a better feel. I think right now with Kyle Wright, you're looking at probably late August. At best, he's dealing with a shoulder issue, so I don't think you can rely on him. So I don't think they have the pieces to go out and get a top starter. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if they would go out and try to find somebody, just because you've got Schuster, Shawver, and even Elder to some extent. They're all going to be. Who knows how effective they're going to be towards late September when they start, pushing towards career highs or surpassing their career high inning totals. So you may want to get some insurance there from the starting pitching standpoint.
Okay, right now I'm putting you to the test here. Give me 1 or 2 teams right now that is able to, in the National League, that is, if the playoffs started now, who's going to stop the Braves from making it to the World Series?
Well, and Dodgers were here. When the Dodgers were here a couple of weeks ago, I would have said them. They haven't played as well. Their bullpen hasn't been as good.
It's tough, man.
It's tough to think. Are the Padres ever going to, get on that roll to get in the postseason? And if they do, are they going to be that team? Something's going right in San Francisco right now. They're doing, they're winning. It's tough though. Obviously the Phillies found a way last year. That was Strider was hurt and Max Fried was sick, and the Phillies got hot and did it there in postseason. You guys know anything can happen, but just looking at it, they certainly have to be heavy. The Braves have to be heavy favorites right now to win the National League.
Mark, it's easy to look ahead when you consider even this series, for example, 2 teams, 11 straight wins, 8 straight wins. I feel like the playoff feeling and at least that playoff intensity might even start as early as today for the Braves when you consider the challenges they have in their division combined with what they're seeing in a game in a series like this. What is the level of just not focus, but intensity, and then also trying to figure out where they are and maybe needing that one extra thing to make them feel better at the deadline, and combining all of that in a way that that puts us all into some context?
I think it's important to remember we're still just 80 games in, and I don't, you hear the whole don't get too high, don't get too low. I don't think you want to start. Hey, yeah, it's fun to go to Philadelphia and play against a team that was as hot as the Phillies were this week, and it certainly come to Cincinnati and do that. You enjoy the moments, but I don't think you get too high, and maybe you enjoy playoff atmospheres for a day or two, but do whatever you can to stay healthy, to stay in the hunt, or stay ahead of the pack, whatever, and prepare yourself to be as strong as you can in September, or for the stretch run and then into October. I just don't. I think if you get too excited about saying let's get ready for the playoffs. Maybe I didn't understand your question, but yeah, it's fun to enjoy these atmospheres that when you're playing against a team like the Reds that are going for 12 straight wins. They haven't had 12 straight wins, I've read just now, since 1957. David Bell's grandfather, Gus Bell, was in the Reds outfield that year. So it's something special, going on here, and it's going to be fun to play here and just to get a feel for, where the Braves stand against another hot team.
All right, now off the field, we know you love to try different foods in the different cities that you're in. We have a poll. That's up right now. What is better, Texas barbecue, Philly cheesesteak, or the deep dish pizza?
Don't you say it either.
And I know Todd. I already heard it. Todd doesn't. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I like the deep dish pizza.
Oh, come on, man! Oh God, that's it. I'm done. I'm not asking any more questions.
Deep dish pizza is like a side. You can eat a little bit of it. You can't just you can have a whole cheesesteak.
You like that better out of all three of those?
Have you guys? Okay, who had the most cheesesteaks during any series you guys were at there in Philly? Like Frenchie had like
Matt Latos broke the record.
No, Marcus Hanna beat him.
There you go.
Marcus Hanna was a bullpen catcher for the Brewers.
He did.
He ate 24 cheesesteaks in one 4-game series, and we had an off day the next day, and he was sitting in his room, and at 12 o'clock, his heart started pounding, and he started sweating. Our trainer thought he was having a heart attack.
No, without a doubt.
24 cheesesteaks in a 4-game series.
I can't remember what the number Frenchie had for a 3 or 4 game series, but he tried to stuff one last one as before the bus left the parking lot, just to say it counted. I forget. He's trying to Jeff Francoeur, he was trying to.
No, he was cheating because Marcus Hanna ate the last one before the last. He took it out in his mitt. He took the cheesesteak out in his mitt the last game, and he had to eat it while the game was going on.
Oh,
disgusting. Disgusting. Heart attack central.
Hey, so you're picking the deep dish over the other two?
Yeah, I mean, I love the cheesesteak. Have you guys ever gone to the Knicks there in the market there at Reading Terminal Market there in Philly?
We've been to all of them.
The Knicks is good. I like that.
You got to pick. So you're picking the deep dish.
It's tough. I'll take all three. I mean, yeah. But
Hey, but all right. So you don't want to answer that. Thank you. You don't want to hurt my feelings. Let me ask you this. I'm going to give you something in Cincinnati. I'm going to give you 3 choices here. You can't really go wrong, except one I'm like iffy about. So if you had a chance here for like an early dinner, Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, Montgomery Inn, or Skyline Chili, where you headed?
I'm going to go Montgomery Inn.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with the ribs.
I'm going with the steak at Jeff Ruby's. I'll give Montgomery Inn a day after, but you can't miss the steak.
Yeah. Skyline, no. I would
I hear you.
Nobody said Skyline.
Now, only Sean Casey would say Skyline.
Yeah, I don't get that. I went to school up in Dayton, and we had a Skyline on campus, and nobody ever touched it except the kids from down here from Moeller and all that kind of stuff. They would
no doubt. Appreciate it.
Whatever.
Either way, have fun in Cincinnati, Mark. We appreciate it. Braves.
Hey,
going to be
ask AJ to work a full week every once in a while.
Yeah, no shot. We will pass that on. No shot.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy.
Thanks, Mark. We appreciate it.